So this is gonna be one of the weirdest, most all over the place vlogs that I've ever put out, or videos that I've ever put out. So if you would have seen my previous video, you would have known what happened that day. And the reason I was so adamant, so calm, and so convicted on pretty much ending that relationship then and there and that fast it was, well, if you look at this video, continuation with the next video. Yes, I'm dressed up in the same kind of attire, but it's been a long day. Didn't have time for laundry, but that's besides the point. What I want to talk about is how to build yourself back up and go through with resiliency. Because if you see the previous videos, I was broken, but I wasn't defeated. Because like I said in my first ever video, my second ever video, I don't remember this one, but I've always had that resiliency. I've always had that drive. But right now I'm going to a new spot with a new chick, different destination. But I said I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes my first time and use this as content or use it as documentation. I'm just going to enjoy this time, enjoy my present state. And that's what you should do too. Because even though you're broken, you could always get back up. Just look at me. Doesn't matter if you have to rent a Tesla. Always be a gentleman, because you're going to get the same in return. So I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to enjoy this time, enjoy my present self, and maybe get back to you later on. Again, like I said in that video, I'm not going to use this as an excuse or use her as an excuse to get content. But I'm just giving you some clarity on that spectrum. But because I did rent that Tesla, I had to return that Tesla. And then because my buddy wasn't able to give me a ride back, I got an Uber, and this is what happened.
All right, so you said you didn't know how NASA was formed, right?
Nah.
Okay, so I'm gonna tie this back into what I was saying earlier. So basically, I don't even remember how I came across this. I wasn't even looking this up. Basically, in World War II, when everyone's fighting, the Germans were super ahead with their rocket program, crushing it. And what happened is, have you heard of Operation Paperclip?
Yeah.
You remember the movie that just came out? It was called like what's it called? What's Oppenheimer? Or remember the movie? What's that dude's name? It just came out in the movies like 8 months ago, like Oppenheimer or Shot. I forgot the dude's name.
I don't remember which one.
Anyways, made a movie about it. But what the Russians, the Americans, and some other countries start doing, they start poaching some of the German scientists and engineers to do their own stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so what ends up happening is they take this guy named Wernher von Braun, and he becomes
oh yeah, I do know. He was like a giant Nazi, and then he propagated all the Nazi kind of like stuff into Nazi. He hanged like Jews there pretty much and all that.
Well, I don't know if he was hanging Jews. I actually don't know about. Maybe that's a different guy.
He had something like that.
Because there's a bunch of.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead,
No, go ahead. I'm gonna listen.
I mean, I'm interested in learning because I didn't know.
No, from what I understand, he would also like hang Jews and kind of like have them like as displays. That way you could get like not motivation, but like you get fear out of that, because that's gonna happen to you. So he's using that as a tactic to make other people kind of like work harder, pretty much. From what I remember.
I didn't know about that part, bro. That sounds sinister.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if it is that guy, maybe it's another part, because there was a few higher ups that were doing pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But with this guy, from what I've heard about him, is that basically, I don't know if he was fully sold out to the whole Nazi cause and everything, because there was people within the Nazis that were trying to blow up Hitler's own generals, and it kept not working. US, they poach him. They give him a clearance to be able to come here instead of being, tried for the stuff he was doing. He becomes our head of operation to basically develop better rockets. He made the V2 rocket. That same V2 rocket winds up becoming what NASA uses for the Apollo missions, okay?
Yeah.
He becomes the head of it. They get some other people. Another guy named Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons is connected to, guess what? Scientology.
Okay.
Crazy. So Wernher von Braun, Jack Parsons, and there's this third guy. I forgot the guy's name, but he's part of this too. They all are part of these like weird kind of societies that they're coming from, but they're being used to be able to create, bombs, weapons, the space program to be able to do that. But truthfully, the space program is almost a guise for what they're trying to do with defense of America, and be able to conquer the space of above where we live. And so, long story short, NASA was really just a I don't know the word to use, like
Proxy. Kind of like,
I don't know if proxy is the right word, but you get what I'm trying to say.
I get you.
And so basically, once Jack Parsons, because he knew the guy. This is so wild, bro, that no one ever talks about this. The dude, Aleister Crowley. Do you know what that is?
maybe.
The dude, he was the head of the Satanist church. He was like big during the Beatles times.
Yeah.
Like basically, it's a satanic church. His name's Anton LaVey, I want to say. But long story short, he knew him, Jack Parsons. They were super cool. Like he was doing this dark, wicked magic. He was connecting with the Werner von Braun guy. There was two other guys with this. I think it was four of them. Well, I don't think it was three. Long story short, all their occult beliefs and other strange stuff they got going on, they wound up developing the program, you know what I mean, for NASA. And then eventually they wound up saying they're going to send stuff to the space and moon and all that stuff. But when you really start to look at what all these things are doing, think about, if you remember when Neil Armstrong says, this is one small step for man, one giant step for mankind.
Yeah, giant leap for mankind.
When you step back and realize the ultimate goal of most of these people, whether Mormons, whether Freemasons, whether any kind of subculture, whatever weird like religious fringe thing, Scientology, they all want to become a god. If you watch Ancient Aliens, they all want to turn God into man, or man into God.
Yeah.
And so what I would say is you should read the Bible. I'm gonna challenge you to read the Bible.
You know what's funny? I actually bought like a Bible like a couple weeks ago, so I don't know when it's coming, but I'm gonna actually read it too. So
okay.
Yeah.
I would say read the Bible, get in Genesis, get in Revelations, and basically in the book of Romans, read all of it, but I'm trying to give you like a few short ones to kind of start at. And then start to compare it. If I'm not telling you to go read these other books, but when you meet a Jehovah's Witness and you start asking them questions, why do you believe what you believe, and what's the difference between, how come you don't just consider yourself a Christian? Well, we believe Jesus is not the God. He's not how come in Isaiah 9:6 it says he calls him the Almighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace, all the things attributed to God himself. How come you guys have switched it in the book of John in the beginning, where it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God and was God. In their Bible, it says, and the Word was a God. Because they know if they say Jesus was the God, everything about them becomes, well, we're just man. We will never become what he is. You understand?
Yeah.
Because truthfully, a lot of that stuff comes from whatever you want to call it, witchcraft, magic, just fringe, Illuminati, fringe groups, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's sad because you have all these people that wind up going away from Christ, going away from God. They're like, that stuff's fake. It's all fake Christians, this and that. But when you look at it, Jesus in Matthew 7 says, narrow is the way that leads to life, if you find it. And broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there enter by it. And when you see Muhammad and the stuff he was teaching, when he told his people, first they were supposed to pray towards Jerusalem. And as soon as the Jews and the Christians rejected what he was talking about, he says, pray to Mecca. What people don't know about Mecca is, and remember I said everything's connected?
Yeah.
BlackRock, which is the company that owns most
they
of the
own
world.
our company too.
BlackRock is what they worship in Mecca. The Black Rock, which they pilgrimage around.
Yeah.
Do you know about that?
Yeah.
And so, because the Black Rock back in the day was like, like I said, and once you see the counterfeits, you say, oh, I can see the green is a little off, this paper feels a little thick. And he says, he told us, when you know the real thing, you won't fall for the counterfeit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've been getting robbed a lot. And so with people in this life, they keep falling for counterfeits. You see this girl, she looks beautiful, oh my goodness, you see her, and you start to talk to her, and she just like has like, she's like, you say, ask her, hey, can you go do something? And she gets mad, and she's like, why do you want me to do it? And you're like, whoa, like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
Entitlement and all that.
Huh?
It's called entitlement.
And then she'll get nice again. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, well, she's so good looking. I was like, dang, you'll forget, and you start to forget that, oh, not all people are like this.
Mm-hmm.
Just just because she looks like this, internally, not all people are like this.
Yeah.
And so people keep falling for a counterfeit. They fall for counterfeit relationships. They fall for counterfeit jobs, like employers lying to them, getting them to work more hours than they're, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, but we're doing it at the highest level with God himself. We're falling for the counterfeit of, we're believing the devil's giving us something that's just similar enough to make it think like, is this Splenda or is this sugar? Like, is this, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this? And it's like, nah, bro, this is not the real thing. Because I know the real thing.
Yeah.
And so I just challenge you, get to know God himself. Study his word. In the Bible, it says to meditate on the things of God. Christians think, I used to think this too a lot. I thought it meant to read the Bible every single day, and I did that for a while, but I realized like I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff I'm even learning. So I stopped doing that so much. I would just read maybe a few chapters or a few verses a day, just think about it all day. And I know God every single day. Today it's, blessed are those who are poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And so today it's like, reminds me when I go through life and I meet someone that's poor in spirit, maybe they're rich financially, but there's something broken in them, they feel sad.
Yeah.
I'm reminding them like, hey, this life is not all there is.
Yeah.
And maybe tomorrow it's gonna be a different verse, and I'm gonna reflect on that for myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He says to meditate, and you can't know those things unless you seek it out. You can't pass a college exam unless you go read the material, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I got for you, bro. Get to know that. People are gonna tell you other stuff, and then you'll be able to know if it's fake or good, and you can lead people to truth. In Proverbs, it says, he who wins souls is wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
sorry for cursing.
it's all good, bro. But John 3, just looking up, it's a, let me throw my Bible, nigga.
The Bible. I love this, man.
It says this is our daily bread, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It says that man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of the mouth of God. And so right here it says, this is John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Then it says, for God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than the light, because their deeds were evil. I thought there was a verse about conviction in here. That's why it looked different, because I was remembering from the other version. In the King James version, it doesn't use the word convict. It says, I will reprove them, which means the same thing. I'll start in verse 6 or verse 5. He says, but now I go my way to him that sent me, and none of you asketh me, whither goest thou? But because I have said these things unto you, sorrow hath filled your heart. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth, it is expedient for you that I go away. For if I do not go away, for if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you. And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin, and of righteousness, and of judgment. Of sin, because they do not believe on me. Of righteousness, because I go to the Father, and ye see me no more. Of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged. I have many things to say unto you, but you cannot bear them now. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that he shall speak, and he will show you things to come. I'll stop right there. It just, when you said the conviction, man, this is the verse that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna convict the world of these things, and some people are gonna be happy about it. They're gonna be like, wow, I want to do something different.
Crazy situation. And then it doesn't end there. Like, if you would have seen my previous videos, you would have known I'm big on messages, I'm big on signs. And before this Alaskan trip, I ordered a drone and all these other packages, and just for some reason, just none of those materialized. It never came to my destination, my front door, my mailbox, nowhere. But it said it was delivered, I just didn't know where. And I went through some hoops to try to figure that out too. And after everything's transpired, the funniest thing is that drone and those packages showed up today. So if that doesn't tell you that something, I don't want to speak like that, but something's leading me in the direction then I don't know what to tell you. Because like I said in one of my previous videos, I believe in signs and I believe in those messages. And that's a sign, that's a message. Just to push forward, a little reminder. So I'm gonna stick with that. And stick with the way I'm working right now. And be convicted with it too. And lead life with intention. Lead life with clarity. And be more genuine. Because you should be doing the same thing too. So, I'm gonna leave you there. I upload every Wednesday and every Sunday. So make sure to come back. And as always, hope you found value in this video. Hope you found some information. Yes, I'm in my underwear. But yeah, that's been your boy Coach Ed. See you later.